thanks to the support as a channel member, Aidan C97. Look at me learning from what we may have considered a mistake last season. Big offer for one of our players this January. We sold him straight away and we've signed, I think it's 10 new players using the money, and we've still got loads left over. This is a new look Wigan team that is now pushing for the playoffs. So firstly, the player in question that we've sold was Ismail Kabia, who hadn't even been a regular starter for us this season. Swansea offered £11 million for a player who'd started 5 games for us this season. So obviously we bit their arm off and used the money to rebuild the rest of the team. A few other transfers have gone on as well. So Messo, who it wasn't really working out for, he's gone out on loan to Bristol Rovers. Kean Noble has gone out on loan to Exeter. Sadie's gone on loan to McDongs, and a couple of the youngsters have gone out on loan as well. So we've got rid of everybody who hadn't really made the step up properly or who was in a grumpy. We also lost Jimmo, who went back to Palermo at the end of his loan. And these are the players that we brought in to replace those guys who've left and also strengthen areas of the squad that needed strengthening. So first face through the door was Mevi Sivilek, who is a 19-year-old Turkish midfield player on loan for the rest of the season from Freiburg. He's a 3-star current ability, 5-star potential central midfielder. We also brought in a couple of wingers from Manchester City. Nicola Morgillo is an 18-year-old who can play on the right wing, can also play right wing back. He's got 4.5 stars of current ability, 5 stars of potential, and he's not showing that ability for us yet, but will end up being awesome, hopefully. Spent the first half of the season on loan at Stockport in League One, where he averaged a 7.75 playing in the division below, 8 man of the matches. So he's certainly the star man for Stockport. If he can make the step up to the Championship, he'll be a superstar for us second half of the season. The other Manchester City winger that we've brought in fact, no, that's a player we've signed permanently for Man City. We've done some business with Man City. The other Man City winger was Daniel Diaz, who is a equivalent option on the left-hand side, 3.5 stars of current ability, 5 stars of potential. This is his first loan out of the club, so we'll have to see. In fact, you lot are going to cry if you don't see his attributes, aren't you? There you go. There's his attributes, so you can have a little look at him. And then the third player we signed from Manchester City, who you just had a quick look at, is a permanent signing. Colin Bailey is a 22-year-old central midfielder who we picked up for £89,000. He was out of contract in the summer. He'd spent the first half of the season on loan at Exeter in League One, where he wasn't spectacular, but he's solid enough. 3 stars of current ability, 4 stars of potential, loads of upsale value, even if he doesn't completely work out. So he comes in permanently as another option for us in midfield, which was definitely a position we needed to strengthen. We've also brought in Kevin Byrne from West Ham, who is a left winger who can also play centre forward. He is 2.5 stars of current ability, 4 stars of potential. He's been on loan at Luton in the Championship first half of this season, and he's another one who is out of contract. So we've picked him up for almost nothing, with a view to making some money on him, even if he doesn't end up being a regular starter for us. That's quite a common theme. We've been bargain hunting this January. We've also brought in Owen Sturton, who's a 26-year-old Scottish striker, 3 stars of current ability, 6'3", and you can't teach that. Never really been a regular starter anywhere throughout his career, but did have a loan at Sheffield United a few years ago in the Championship where he got 10 goals. So he scored at this level in the past, and it's just another big striker option. He's only coming in to be the backup, so I think that's perfectly acceptable as a backup striker. Our alternate backup striker option is Franny Troon, who comes in from Fulham, 2.5 stars of current ability, 3.5 stars of potential. He's another one who's been on loan at Luton for the first half of the season, so we're weakening what were relegation rivals Luton by taking some of their best players, or some of their players, not necessarily best players, but some of their loan players off of them. We also signed Antonio Pacheco, a 31-year-old Spanish midfielder with 3.5 stars of current ability. He was playing for Modena, them lot. He's been around top. He played a whole season of Serie A last year. So he's a jolly fine introduction to the team. And then we got a couple of fullbacks as well. Leo Shah is a 25-year-old right back, 3 stars of current ability, 4 stars of potential, formerly of Celtic, Newcastle, Middlesbrough, where he's been most recently. They paid over £2 million for him. Couldn't get in their team in the Premier League or when they got relegated. So we've picked him up at a bargain price of 850,000. And then Joe Johnson, a third player who's coming in from Luton. He's a centre-back who he can play left-back or centre-back. We've brought him in to play left-back because it was a big weakness for us, but he could cover at centre-back as well. 3.5 stars of current ability, 3.5 stars of potential. And he's been a regular for Luton forever, over 250 games for Luton. And that is one of their best players being taken off of them and has some very nice upsale value for the future as well. All of that means, even with all those transfers, we've still got a bunch of money left over. In fact, we can just shift some of this around just to make sure we stay within budget. So still some money left over after all of that. Still some money sat in the bank after all of that as well. And we now have a first team squad that is pretty solid throughout. 2 very good goalkeepers. We've obviously still got Denner and Fernandez at left back, but Johnson comes back in to start over the top of them. Likewise at right back, Shah comes in as the starter at right back, but Quirini will be a perfectly adequate backup to him. No more having to play Carragher at right back. At centre back, we can still go with Roivers, Bindon, but Johnson can cover there. Carragher obviously has played there a lot this season as well. We're maybe 1 centre back short, but if needs be, Somerville can drop back and play there because he won't necessarily be starting in midfield anymore because we've got so many new midfielders in. Defensive midfield, it could be Somerville, it could be Miley, it could be Pacheco. And then central midfield, you've got Pacheco, Miley, Gibbs, Sivalek. McKiernan's not even registered in the squad anymore. Colin Bailey knocking around the place as a more attacking option as well. So lots of options in midfield. Up front, we've got Bunnell as the starter, who's still one of the top scorers in the division, but Troon and Sturton will hopefully be better backups than what we had before. And then on the left-hand side, we'll start Diaz, but Wood can be his backup. Byrne can play out there as well, the new boy. And then on the right-hand side, it might be Bailey, it might be Morgillo, it might be Mama, it might be Webster. So many options. It is an infinitely better squad. And with all that being said, we've had a pretty good January as well, winning 3 of our 5 league games, meaning we go into the final third of the season, 15 games to go. We're 11th in the league, 45 points, only 4 points behind Swansea, who are in that final playoff spot, albeit with a game in hand. But we play Swansea today. So if we beat them, if we win this match, we are very much in a playoff hunt. And this is the team, a very new look team. Mr. Tickle in goal, a back 4 of Johnson, Roivers, Carragher and Shah. Somerville at the base of the midfield, Pacheco and Sivalek ahead of him, Diaz on the left, Morgillo on the right, and Bonnell up front. Let's go out there and demonstrate that we're going to have a charge for these playoffs in these final 15 games of the season. We don't expect to get promoted this season. It'd probably be a disaster for us if we were, because we weren't really ready. I mean, I say weren't really ready. We weren't at all ready for the championship this year. And it's taken us until now to have what I would consider a good enough championship squad for like a mid-table finish in the championship. If we end up getting promoted again, the club infrastructure, the finances just won't keep up with it. And that'll be a big, big problem. And we will come straight back down. So we're really just trying to be in the mix for the rest of the season, go into the end of the season, upper mid-table, maybe flirt with the playoffs, maybe even lose in a playoff semi-final or something like that. Benefit from that year of championship money, add some more quality to the squad in the summer, and then have a proper push for promotion next year, which would be jolly nice. But, you know, if we fast track it and do it a year early, I'm not going to object. These Manchester City youngsters, we're obviously not going to have them forever. So if they're as good as they look on paper, them two firing the ball into the best striker in the league with what is now a very solid looking back 4, still a very reliable goalkeeper, and a much upgraded midfield. If these players can gel quickly and these Man City boys can have an incredible 6 months before they go back to City, who knows what might happen. Obviously, promotion to the Premier League, even if we did come straight back down, would be financially quite helpful for us in the long run, I guess. So Somerville plays the ball forward, looking for the run of Bonnell, doesn't get anywhere near him, and it's. Hold on, is this Swansea? This is Sheffield Wednesday. Hang on. One moment. How do I... Excuse me for a minute, boys and girls. I need to get back to look at the... There must be a way for me to... Right, we're playing Sheffield Wednesday. I'm absolutely certain when I was planning this episode, this was a game against Swansea. I need to get back to the fixtures and work out what's gone on here and how we've ended up playing Sheffield Wednesday and not Swansea. Because I'm very confused. I imagine one or two people may have had something to say about that down in the comments, but this is not the match that it was advertised to be. So I'm now very sad and we're losing anyway, which makes me even sadder because we beat Sheffield Wednesday earlier in the season. Get me to the... I want to see the thing. There must be a way to get back to the normal screen from here so that I can look at my own fixtures. That's all I want to do. I want to work out what I've done and how I've ballsed this up so badly. This is what I do. This is what I've looked down at my own notes where I've written we play Swansea and not actually looked at the game. Get me to half time so I can have a look around. There must be a way. Is there a keyboard shortcut or something that I can just get back to the... I want to get back to the home screen just to have a look. I don't know why it doesn't want me to do that. Right. So Swansea are playing Wrexham tonight. Fixture schedule. When do they play us? They play us next. So somehow, and I don't know how, somehow, I mean, they are the next game. Obviously, when I was writing down my plan for the episode, I somehow didn't see Sheffield Wednesday. So now we've got to deal with them. We are losing. It does change the narrative a little bit if we lose against this lot. But we'll go attacking and we'll try and focus in on getting back into the game. What a halftime team talk that would be. Right, lads, as you may have figured out in the first half, we're actually playing Sheffield Wednesday. All our planning was for Swansea. So we're losing now. Can we do something about it? And let's see if that team talk can be the inspiration these boys need to turn this ship around in the second half. What an absolute disaster. One day I'll set up a system where I play the in-betweeny bits and then go straight into the next episode. But for 10 years now, I've recorded the episode, then played the in-betweeny bits for the next one, and then I come back to the game fresh. It's the worst way round to do it. Don't do it that way round, boys and girls. I don't know why I still do. Because I go into it and do stupid stuff like that. I lose track of what my brain was doing the last time I was recording. Right. Oh, I need a lie down. I need a break. It must be time. I must be due another holiday. I'm on holiday all the time, if Reddit's to be believed. Right. Let's make some changes. Mama's coming on. We're going to take off Somerville and bring on one of these strikers. So I think Sturton is the one who's going to come on. And we'll see if he can maybe offer us something a little bit different. Playing as the target forward. And then Johnson's not having a very nice day at all. So we'll bring Denner on for him. If Denner's the answer, I don't want to know what the question is. I am pretty much done with him, especially now I think I've signed his replacement. But obviously we're now in the situation we were in earlier in the year where it's going to take time for this very new squad of players to gel. What's happened here? Why is he wearing a goalkeeper's shirt? He's definitely not on the pitch wearing a goalkeeper's shirt, and I'm pretty sure he's not a goalkeeper. I think we're okay. Oh, this is what happens when you sign 10 players in one go. I can't remember who half of them are and which ones are which. Is Sturton the best backup striker? I can't even remember. I think he is. I'll get used to the players again. It's like joining a new team. There's half a dozen players here, and I can't remember what position they play. Right, Shah to Carragher. Why is Carragher on the pitch instead of my big boy? Get the big boy on. Right, big boy is on. And then for my last trick, I mean, we have got the other new striker's not down here. Right, Burn is a striker as well. So we could bring him on for Pacheco. And that will get us a third striker, which seems excessive, but, you know, sometimes. And I guess we can drop to this, or he can do that. What does he want to be as a striker? He wants to be a deep light. Okay, fine, do that then. And then we'll go very attacking and hopefully grab an equaliser in a game we were entirely unprepared for. Sheffield Wednesday are still way down the bottom of the league, I think. Oh no, they've recovered a bit. They're still a team we should be beating based on the form we've been in going into it. But this has been a disaster from start to finish. The new team, a lot of them have played very little football for us. And I may have derailed things with too many transfers. Right. Pretend none of that happened. We are now going to play Swansea. We're going to beat them and we're going to get in the playoff mix. That was the plan. Well, after that defeat, as you can see, we have fallen back into the bottom half of the table and are now 7 points behind Swansea with them having a game in hand. So it's less attractive than it was. And it's not... it's now not showing me the team. I'm having a nightmare. We've not made any changes to the team that played the last game, so luckily I don't need to read you through all of them again. There you go. There they are in person. So it's the same 11 that just lost to Sheffield Wednesday. We've got to give them time to bed in with each other and get used to each other. So I think this is probably my 11 for at least the next 2 or 3 matches until it becomes clear that there's a problem, if there is a problem, in which case we can swap a few things around. But I think this is the best 11 that we've got. There's an argument for Bindon to being ahead of Carragher, but Carragher's had a good season. I keep trying to replace him and he keeps doing well. And Roivers is very good on the other side. And there is Diaz. And I think if that's been given, and I'm a bit questioning whether it's been given, that was football, apparently. It looked like it was a deflection off the young man. But that's his first goal for the club. So there's a big deflection there. And then a deflection there. Okay, that was straight in. So there was no deflection on the shot itself. And that was football. And there you go. This is the original script. Play Swansea at home, beat them, move into the playoff conversation. I don't know that this does move us into the playoff conversation, although it does put us 4 points behind them if it ends like this. So I guess that's quite good. Pacheco releases Morgillo. Remember, he is star rating wise the best player at the club now, according to the star ratings we just looked at. And Diaz has got his second goal for the club. I said if the Manchester City wingers decided to turn it on, we'd be on easy street. And here we go. Morgello, great work on that side. And Diaz, 2 goals inside the first 6 minutes of this match. 2 goals in 2 games in a Wigan shirt as well. So he's arrived. Morgello's got his first assist. Actually, I don't think that is his first assist. He's played a couple of games already. He arrived a little sooner than Diaz, so I think he'd already got an assist before today. But the 2 of them starting to look the business. And importantly, we've scored 2 goals there without Bernal being involved, which the idea of that happening even a month ago would have been absurd because Bernal was our only route to goal. 7 minutes in and it's 2-1 because we've let Swansea in to grab a goal back. So it's definitely not job done for the day yet. As it stands, this would move us up to 9th and we'd be 5 points behind Bournemouth, who would be in that final playoff spot. So I think that's definitely in the conversation, but a long shot version of being in the conversation. It's one of the reasons why I didn't go out and buy any 4, 5, 6 million pound players in January. Because I think if you're going to do that, you have to be in a promotion push. We've very much bought squad players that we can then add a couple of stars to in the summer. But this gives us a much more solid squad of, we've got like 16 to 18 championship players here now that we'll just need a couple of new stars in the summer to be a very solid squad for this level. I don't think there's any fear at all of this team getting relegated at any point in the next few years. And that was a real concern just a few episodes ago when we were struggling at the start of the season. So I still think it was an excellent transfer window, even if some of you disagree. I don't think you can disagree. Often you do disagree. I think this time I've been very financially reserved and sensible. I've been telling you all the way through FM26, I'm a new man. I do tactics now. I change according to what's going on in the match. And now I'm being financially sensible as well. I'm going to stop. I promise you, I'll stop wearing suits. I am a new man. Right. We are heading towards half-time. I would like us to not concede before the half-time whistle. If we could pull that one off. I mean, a third goal would be even better. Bonnell is in and he's scored, and that is his 20th goal of the season. And that is an incredibly important goal for the shape of the rest of our season. Really good work from Shah, the new right back, and Bonnell gets in behind. He's been a little quieter on the goal-scoring front lately because some of the pressure's been taken off him by having better quality of players around him. But now he's stepping up and doing the business again, grabbing himself a goal, and we are looking like a very good team. That front four are all playing very, very well, which is jolly nice to see. Right, we've got a defender corner here, which this is the one time where I kind of wish we had Bindon on rather than Carragher. But we've got the chance for a counter-attack here. It's with Diaz, and we know what he can do already, having seen him score 2 goals already today, and he almost grabbed a spectacular third. That would have been brilliant. Keeper tips it over the crossbar, and Diaz is having a fantastic game. This front three for the rest of the season is going to cause a lot of teams a lot of problems because Swansea are a good side and they can't cope with what this front three are doing. So it's splendid. I only wish 2 of them weren't in on loan because obviously we're going to have to come up with a new plan for next year. When I talk about adding a couple of stars to the team, top of the shopping list is a winger on either side, because we'll have lost our 2 starting wingers. Right, by now, as we look to do another counter-attack, we've got the overlap with Diaz. We've decided to come the other side from Morgillo, which was more crowded, but he's done very well to go past his man. Pacheco backheels it, falls to Somerville. Johnson now, and he doesn't really know where to go with it. I mean, he's done well to... Diaz has been fouled there, surely. Apparently not. I think Diaz has been injured there. Diaz with the in-swinger. Carragher trying to get onto it. Morgillo puts it back in. Bonnell's there again. And it's 4-1. This was the script for today. Pretend Sheffield Wednesday never happened. That's what I plan to do. I might edit it out. Lovely, lovely, lovely. It's 4-1. And we will take Diaz off because he did take a bit of a knock there. We'll take him off to protect him. Mama can come on and play on the left-hand side. Somerville is going to come off for Miley. It's mad that Miley's not a nailed-on starter anymore. Carragher can come off for Bindon. We've got some real quality coming off this bench now, which is super duper. I'm going to give the boys some praise. I don't do it very often, but they've played very, very well today. So they deserve a collective group pat on the head. Right, Johnson is tiring again, so Denner can come on for him again. And there was another tired player in there, Morgillo. Bailey can come on for him on that right-hand side. And we'll just see out the match. Was Bailey the other one? I forget, was Bailey the other one for Man City? Or was that Byrne? I can't remember who they are and where they've come from. Like I say, I will, as I play a few games with them, I'll get used to who they are. It's rare I do that many transfers in one go, certainly mid-season. It's all very out of character. The Wigan fans had no idea what was going on. This is what would have happened last year if we'd have sold Mr. Tickle and not had to deal with FFP, because we've massively increased our wage spend by bringing in all those players. So we couldn't have done this last year. So I think I started this episode by saying I've learned from what happened last year. I haven't. I would still not sell Mr. Tickle, and he's still our starting keeper now. So I'm still very happy we've got him. But that is a stupendous performance from us. Let's have a look at the league table. We're up to 10th. We're 6 points behind Bournemouth. We are in the playoff hunt, boys and girls. And hopefully, when we're back on Monday, we'll still have something to play for. That's the plan, because we've got some potential big matches like Bournemouth, who we're chasing now. There's some big matches still to come this season. So fingers crossed. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.